that are studied by MD doctors. But besides those basic scientists, students are also taught holistic and non-toxic approaches to therapy, with a strong emphasis on optimizing wellness and disease prevention. In addition to following a standard medical curriculum, a naturopathic physician is required to complete 4 years of training in clinical nutrition, acupuncture, homeopathic medicine, botanical medicine, psychology, and counseling. These naturopathic physicians take professional board exams, and if they pass their exams, then they are licensed by a state or jurisdiction as a primary care general practice physician. And they would be identified as an ND or an NMD. So I haven't seen too many of them around, but depending on where you are, you may, I think probably in urban areas, certain cities, you probably will have an easier time finding an ND or an NMD than you would in other areas. But if that's something of interest and concern to you, you should definitely seek out a naturopathic physician to be your general healthcare physician. Now again, a lot of that goes back to insurance, and sometimes your insurance provider will not have confidence in that type of physician. So you have to be very careful, and depending on what your coverage is, your insurance company might not cover it if it's a doctor that's outside of their system or what have you. But it might even be worth going outside of their system just to have a consultation with a naturopathic doctor, if that's something of interest to you. So quickly, let's talk about homeopathy, which is a form of medicine that naturopaths use. And it rests on 3 principles: the law of similars, which states that a disease is cured by a medicine that creates symptoms similar to those the patient is experiencing. Hence, an important part of the prescription of a homeopathic medicine is a lengthy interview to determine all the symptoms, and the homeopathic physician then prescribes the medicine that best matches the symptoms. The principle of the single medicine should cover all the symptoms that a patient is experiencing, mental, emotional, and physical. And the principle of the minimum dose. First, the homeopathic doctor prescribes only a small number of doses of the medicine and waits to see what the effect the medicine has. And second, the medicine is given in an infinitesimal dose. Homeopathic remedies tend to be very dilute, so much so that in many cases not a single molecule of the active compound remains in the final preparation. And so scientists believe that therapeutic action is impossible. This makes homeopathy a bit controversial as an alternative therapy. But then again, you have the placebo response that others say attributes or is responsible for the healing that is attributed to homeopathic medicines. So, and studies on it have revealed conflicting results, as studies of any of these types of things generally do. So it can be used for bumps and bruises, chronic non-life-threatening conditions, colds, coughs, things like that. So if you go to visit a homeopathic physician, they'll do a long interview with you to cover everything that's going on with you mentally, physically, and emotionally. And then they will begin to decide what dosage of medicines they'll want to use. So if you're looking for someone who practices this sort of medicine, there is a society called the North American Society of Homeopaths, or NASH for short, North American Society of Homeopaths. You can Google that and find their website. They have a directory of practitioners and their credentials. And it's a therapy that you can use with, the guided imagery we've been talking about, hypnosis, visualization, and it can be helpful to you, even if it's just something that triggers a placebo response. You're healing. That's the goal. So that's good, and it's happened without the use of chemicals that can be dangerous or have unintended side effects. So be, again, as I mentioned, pursue these things, but pursue them with caution, and make wise decisions and do your research. I always recommend drweil.com. He always has sort of the latest research and takes on these things. But certainly in this time, when everybody's concerned about, are they going to be able to afford to stay well, using the body and the mind in positive ways can certainly be an important tool. So stay healthy, stay well, and keep that positive energy flowing.